Welcome to the deep blue waters of the Pacific and a small chain of islands that make up the country of Vanuatu. Today we're joining the locals on a beautiful beach for a simple yet challenging workout that targets the muscles of your arms and shoulders. Remember that you don't have to do as many reps or hold a position for as long as is suggested. All you need to do is the very best that you can and give just a little bit more than you think you're capable of. Because I promise you, your body is able, and it's your mind that wants to give in first. So throw everything you've got into this workout and you'll feel so amazing at the end. And now, let's hop onto the mat and start that burn. Alright, getting started, seated at the back of the mat. Let's reach the hands forward, finding a quick child's pose, stretching out those shoulders before we begin. And if you need a block or a blanket or something underneath your forehead during this class, go ahead and get that. And if you're ready, let's bring those arms out to the side, lift them up. Hold, breathe, lifting as high as you can. And then we're going to drop them down and lift them up. Doing arm lifts, so keep holding. And lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift. Beginning to engage the back, the arms. Let's hold up at the top. Bring the arms forward, but don't touch the mat yet. So you'll probably notice here that it might be helpful to have something underneath your forehead. Keep holding, maybe readjusting yourself if you need to, or placing that block underneath your head. Keep holding. And now we're going to lift those hands up and release to the mat. Lift and release. So just little lifts here, engaging a different part of the arms and shoulders, and then reach those hands back behind you, bring them forward and clap, and then reach back. So pretending that you want to clap your hands behind your back, behind your glutes, and then clapping them in front of your head. Bringing movement into that shoulder joint. Keep moving, keep breathing. Back and forward, back and forward, back, and let's grab those hands, lift them up, extending through the elbows, reaching up to the sky, getting a nice shoulder stretch before we lift up, lift your head, reaching the chin to the sky, the hands down to the mat before we fold down, bringing the top of the head onto the mat, lifting those hips, coming onto the knees, and just stretching up and over with those arms, going a bit deeper into the shoulders. And now let's release. Stay in this position and lift and lower those arms. So this may feel a bit weird, a bit awkward. That's totally fine. We're not worried about what we look like. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Great job. Let's come back to seated. Reach the arms up to the sky. Bend those elbows. Hands reach behind the back. Tricep stretch. Beautiful. Let's fold forward, keeping the same position with those arms and hands. Placing the elbows on the mat. And releasing the arms out in front. Let's come up to tabletop, drop the belly, look up to the sky, and then round through the shoulders, looking between the knees, moving through cat-cow. Inhaling as you arch and look up, exhaling as you round and look down. Beautiful. Round through. And arch, looking up. Great, let's lift those feet and bring it down for a push-up. Just a few here to warm up those arms even more. Great job. Let's tuck those toes, lift the knees, coming into downward facing dog. Maybe walk the hands out just a little bit, maybe bending the knees slightly. Let's do our shoulder shrugs in downward facing dog. Pushing into the mat a little bit more and then releasing. Just like if you were shrugging your shoulders if you were seated, but with your arms over your head. All right, let's find downward facing dog in stillness. And come forward to plank. Feeling that core begin to fire up. Great job. Holding it here. And let's lower down, slowly bending the elbows, holding chaturanga. Hold and release to upward facing dog, untucking the toes. Beautiful. Let's lift the hips up to downward facing dog. And slowly walk the feet forward. Forward fold. Let's bring some love into those wrists, rolling them out. Placing the fingers facing toward your feet. Palms on the mat and then lifting the palms up as you bend your elbows. Just stretching out those forearms, stretching out the wrists. Bring the fingers to face the side and rock back and forth. And maybe bring those fingers to face back again. Great job. Let's bring the hands to face forward again. We're going to hop back to plank. Let's hold for a breath or two. And then shifting onto that left hand, right arm reaches up, finding side plank. Your feet can be stacked or they both can be on the mat. Now let's shift to the other side. Right hand to the mat, left arm reaches up. Great job. Let's hold. And then shifting back to the left side. Right arm reaches up. And let's place that right foot on the inner thigh of the left leg. Finding a tree pose variation, or you can just hold side plank, whatever's best for you. Reaching up with that right arm, finding stillness. Engaging through that left side body. And then stepping that right foot back behind you, opening up, extending through that left leg, reaching back, arching through the back. Finding wild thing or flip dog. And then let's shift back onto that left leg and step the right foot to the right side of the mat, holding in a lunge position. And now let's drop that back knee to the mat, lift the foot and reach back and grab it. Or you can just simply lift it. You don't need to reach for it if you don't want to. And maybe flex and point that foot, seeing how that feels on the hip flexor, on the quad. Holding the foot lifted. And let's drop the toes, lift the back knee, and either step that right foot back or hold the knee into the tricep, into the arm, and then step it back to plank. Great job. And lift the hips back into downward facing dog, stretching through the shoulders, through the backs of the legs, and coming forward to plank again, shifting onto the opposite side now, right hand on the mat, left foot to the inner thigh of the right leg, left arm is reaching up to the sky, tree pose variation of side plank, or just holding in side plank, or even dropping that bottom knee down to the mat and finding that type of side plank. All right, let's step that top foot back behind you, arch and open up through the chest, extending through that right leg. Wild thing. Feeling a nice back bend. Keep holding. And let's come back to side plank, and we're going to step that left foot to the opposite side of the mat, finding a lunge pose, maybe rocking back and forth, beginning to notice how that right hip flexor feels. Let's drop the right knee, lift the foot, and point or flex the foot. You can reach back to it as well and hold on. Just depends how deep you want to go into that quad muscle and to the hip flexor. Let's hold the foot, lift it off of the mat, and bring the toes down, lift the knee, and either step that left foot back immediately, or we're going to hold the left knee into the left tricep. Hold, compress, compress. Keep holding just a little bit longer. Hold, and step it back to plank. Great job. Holding plank in a straight line, and then chaturanga down, release to upward facing dog, and lifting the hips back into downward facing dog. Beautiful flow. Let's bring those knees down to the mat, release the toes, sitting back into child's pose. Breathing into any tension you may have been feeling. And then let's bring both hands to the left side of the mat. Palms are lifted, and you can stay here, or you can lift that left arm up to the sky, getting into that right shoulder a bit deeper. And bringing the left hand back down. Let's reach up with the right arm now, sinking into that left shoulder. Beautiful. And then let's come to center, sinking down into the mat, just relaxing everything. And then walking the hands to the opposite side, to the right. You can stay here with your palms lifted just on your fingertips, or you can reach that right arm up to the sky, sinking into the left shoulder, and then maybe switching sides, reaching up with the left arm, sinking into the right shoulder. Stay connected to your breath. And let's drop the hand down. Walk those hands to the middle of the mat, keeping your palms lifted, making little tents with your fingers. This gets into the shoulders a bit more. And then lifting up, reaching the arms up to the sky, dropping them down as you exhale. Let's lift up one more time and bring the hands down to heart, thanking yourself for this amazing workout you just did and taking the time to do something great for your body. Thank you so much for joining me in Vanuatu. And if this workout challenged you at all, please take a moment to share it, like it, comment, let me know how it went, or share suggestions for future content you want to see. Anything at all so we can get it to others who may need this workout too. Thanks again, and I'll see you for the next video. And one last thing, if you love workouts like this that are short, sweet, and to the point, head on over to my website and sign up to be part of the Living Eden tribe, because something is currently in the works that you do not want to miss out on. As a Living Edener, you will get first access to exciting news, member-only info, plus special discounts and exclusive perks. Hope to see you there.